Hello, welcome back. All right, so today we're talking about the basic requirements in order to work in a cruise ship. What do I need? What is required from me? What must I have for me to be able to get, um, you know, that flight ticket and board that flight and eventually get to board the cruise ship for me to be employed? All right, so there's a list of things that you need to do first before you get to go. Number one, you need to have minimum of 1 year experience, preferably in a 4 or 5 star establishment. Okay, so I'm talking about chefs, I'm talking about hospitality. You need to have worked in a property that is 4 or 5 star. Why? Because then these properties are known already and they're reputable in proper training their workers in delivering, great service. So if you have worked in this establishment, it's kind of easy for you. But if you did not have time or you did not have an opportunity to work in one, I know people that I've worked with on the cruise ship that have worked in like basic properties, something small, not known, but they actually made it. So this is not to say if you've worked in a restaurant that is unknown that you can't get it. Number two, you need to have a culinary qualification. The interviewer is going to ask you for it, and also on the portal, you're going to have to upload your certification. Also, when you actually have the interview, they'll ask you technical questions, things that you would have done most probably at school. For an example, if you are interviewing to be a pastry chef, one of the questions that they might ask you is, how do you make an Italian meringue? You need to have knowledge of that. Or if you are interviewing for a hot kitchen chef, they might ask you, what are the mother sauces and how do you make one? And things like that. So they will ask the technical questions to see that actually you went to school, and you never know which questions they will ask. So if you're someone that did not get an opportunity to go to school, should you not apply? I wouldn't say so. Try, really try. But if also there is an opportunity for you, if there is a way that you can get some sort of training, it doesn't have to be a 3-year course or 2-year course, may not even be a year course, could be something like 6 or 3 months. Then you know that I'm just going to start from the bottom and grow. Please go and do that course, go and do that training, so that when they're asking you for school qualification, you can actually be able to produce that. All right. Number 3, you will need a passport. This one is a given. If you are here and listening to me and you don't have a passport yet, tell me why. Answer me now and tell me why. Please get that passport, girl or guy. I mean, you cannot move out of South Africa without having one. So you need to go to the Home Affairs and apply for a passport. You may be right now far from applying to go to the cruise ship or whatever processes that you are in. Please go and apply for a passport, because your passport will take about 10 years to expire. So if it is one thing that you can quickly get out of the way, please do it. Number 4, you will need a police clearance. The company does a background check and then they need to know if you are clear. This one, you have to do it at the police station, but the police station one does take time. So there is a company named Uhuru that works with Postnet. So you can go to a Postnet, or you can check online with which Postnets work with Uhuru, and you can do it there. It's very easy. It depends how. There is a fee that you pay. So if you want it within 24 hours, you pay a certain amount. If you want it in 2 or 3 days, also you pay a certain amount. Next one, medical certificate. You need to be fit. You are gonna work long hours. You're gonna be working in an intense environment, and the pressure is going to be high. So you need to be someone that is fit medically. This is not to say that if you have a chronic illness, you can't be able to work in a cruise ship. Of course you can. There are people that are working currently there and they have illnesses, but one of the important things is that you need to be able to bring with you all the medication that you're going to use for the rest of your contract. So if you're going to be there for 6 months, you need medication for the whole 6 months to take them with you, and then be able to take care of your health and that you don't miss here. Also, these ones, the medical certificate, each ship company has their own doctors all over the world. So here in South Africa, we have a couple of them. You can go, they will give you a list of them, and then you will go to the one that is closer to you. Mostly it's here at Joburg, Cape Town, and Durban. The next one is visa. So you will need a visa, of course, because you will be joining the ship somewhere in another country. You may be joining the ship in the USA, or you may be joining the ship in the UK. Let's say you're joining in the USA. So for you to be able to get a USA visa, you need to apply for it, right? So you will go online, then you will fill up the online application. You do pay a fee for the visa application. Another challenge, the visa is very quick to come. You will get the visa very quick, but the challenge is finding an appointment date. Yeah, because the consulate is always mostly fully booked. There are a lot of people that are traveling from here to the USA for different things, work purposes, visiting purposes, school purposes. So the consulate is very busy, so you will struggle, but do not lose heart. There are 3 places that you can go and apply for a visa. I mean, that you can go and have your visa interview here in South Africa. So, but do not lose heart. There are 3 places to go and have your visa interview. So you can apply in Joburg, you can apply in Cape Town, you can apply in Durban as well. So any of these places. I've also I have friends that actually went to another country like Mozambique, Zambia, to actually go and have their visa interview because the line here was too long. But another thing that is very important to know is that if you see the line is too long, make the booking already and then stay online every day. Keep on looking and checking, because there are people that, because they cannot wait, they go to another place to have their visa interview, but they've already booked on the system of maybe the Johannesburg consulate, and then at a later stage, 2-3 days before, they abandon that appointment, and then because you are continuously checking online, then you get that appointment. Siemens book. Yes, you will need a Siemens book. This is a record book for a seafarer. So if you're working at sea, you are called a seafarer, and there is a record book for people that are working in the sea, showing their length of time that they've worked and the places that they've worked at. And some companies, this is a strict requirement. Some companies may not require this. They will still let you go without, because you can still apply there at the company for the seafarer's book once you are on board. But also leaving your country without one also is a challenge, because there are some countries, for instance Norway, sometimes they let everybody go out at port, but sometimes they will be like, no, we don't want people that don't have Siemens book roaming around our country, because they have no identification. The next one is STCW. STCW training is a mandatory safety training that you need for you to work at sea. This one, there's no two way around it. You must have it, because this teaches you about first aid, survival techniques at sea, because once there's an emergency at sea, you as a seafarer, as someone that is employed, you also need to know what to do to help yourself and to also help the guests. So in this training, you would actually learn how to swim from one point to the other, how to jump. I know it's 4 meters high, to jump down, and so on and so forth. So this is mandatory for you to do before you go. Some companies might allow you to do when you're on board, but there's always the basic one that you have to do when you're here before you board the ship. The process of getting these documents takes time. I want to be honest, it takes some time. You need to be very, very patient. It also needs money. So please, my advice, do not quit your current job before you complete this whole process, because most of the time, as soon as the person receives the LOE and they think, I'm going, I don't need it happens to all of us. I'm going, I don't need to be here suffering anymore. I'm going to be free, I'm going to make money, and therefore they abandon their current job. No, do not make that mistake, because all of these, they take time for you to have them. And then after you have them, you will upload them to the portal of the company that you are applying for. And then after you've applied, you've uploaded them, they will need to verify them. And then only after they have verified and green ticked all of them, then you can now say, yes, I am almost going. And that takes a lot of time. Secondly, this takes money. It takes money. From the beginning, your police clearance, you're going to pay for that. Your passport, you have to pay for the passport. The visa costs about $160, which when you convert is about 2,800 rands. The medicals cost about, it depends on which doctor you went to, where did you find your appointment, and sometimes you're already under pressure to just take one of the doctors that is recommended by the company. Doctors can go from 5,500 up to 7 or 8,000 rands, depending on the doctor that you go to. And then your STCW, depending on the company you're going for and what STCW do they want. Some companies want the full-on training to be completed before you leave. I don't even want to say this one because it's very discouraging. Also, there are small things like, for instance, as I mentioned, my friend went to do his visa interview in Mozambique. So he had to travel from Johannesburg to Mozambique, had to book accommodation to sleep one night there, and then have the visa interview, and then travel back to South Africa. And those things people do because they are pressed for time. Their joining date is fast approaching and they cannot get a date to have their interview here in South Africa. So all of this needs you to be able to have money. It needs you to have patience as well. You can do it. Once all your documents are done and uploaded, it is the best feeling ever. It is the most satisfying time, because now you are ready to leave. You are ready to go to pursue your dreams, to work towards your goal. The sky is literally the limit. You're about to board that plane, and it's very, very exciting. I know it from myself because my life changed after. It changed in a big way. And the nice thing, if you work hard, you are dedicated, contract after contract, they will call you back. You finish, you're going back again. You finish, you're going back again. So literally your whole life changes. So you need patience, and I'm going to advise you to relook at the list or rewatch the video and see the list of things that are requirements, and see what is missing from your side, what you need for you to fulfill your dream. But also, very importantly, that I didn't mention, The first and the very most important thing is to have the letter of employment where the company says, hey, congratulations, we have accepted you, or we are taking you on, and then this is how much we are offering you at this position, and this is the length of your contract, and then these are the requirements. Then you continue on. So get your letter of employment first. How do you get the letter of employment? All right, in my next video, I'm gonna share how to apply, where to apply, and which cruise ships to apply for. Thank you so much for today. If you are benefiting from this content, or you know someone that can, please share. Let's spread the word. Let's get everybody employed, and subscribe and comment and share maybe your journey if you are in the journey of applying for the cruise ship, or you are running around and completing your documents. I'd like to hear your stories. So thank you so much for today, and see you on the next video.